everybody. Sorry for the problem the last time. We mistakenly ended the stream. Hi,
Sorry,
Phyllis.
that was my fault. Sorry.
So, Gigi, okay, Gigi, welcome back. So, to be honest,
Hello, hello.
the episode was very interesting. As I said before, I wish that this was the whole season and we
Mhm.
didn't have to do the whole part one, part two nonsense because this is actually when this season is getting interesting. As much as they're not really delving into the important matters, at least if you're not going to delve into things important, might as well give us an interesting season, right? I mean,
Mhm.
so now let's get into the episode. So we started off from the whole Marsau versus Tisha stuff. What do you guys have to say about this?
I
Honestly,
like the
no, you go ahead.
I like the fact that Melody addressed so many different issues, including the fact that even during the times when her and Tisha have had problems, it's been Marceau who has been the one who's basically been egging things on. He's been the real issue between them because just like she said, I don't have a problem with Tisha. I have a problem with Marceau, and that's who I'm going to address, and that's who she has addressed. So I really love the fact that she has, like you said, even though there's some things that's not being addressed, they're addressing some shit that I feel like has should have been said a long time ago. Like Marceau needs to be put in his place, and I'm glad that Mel spoke up about that.
100%. I think I was just sitting there. I was so proud of how she handled him. I feel like she called him out. I absolutely loved when she brought up, well, you filed bankruptcy because you couldn't pay your bills or whatever she said. And I was like,
Yes,
damn,
yes.
say it. Like, I was so here for it. And I wish like we could see the look on Marsau's face after she said that. He was immediately humbled. And I feel like he knew that it was going to be on and popping after that. So he knew that he had to come correct because she was not going to be having any of his BS today. So I was there for it. I feel like this season, Mel is like, I'm not with the shenanigans. I'm going to serve you. You're not going to come for me. I will be responding. And I love that energy. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I love that too. The fact that he thought that he was shading her by saying basically, "Oh, your business went bankrupt," and she was like, "No, honey, I went through a divorce and I wasn't going to allow him to leave me there. You went bankrupt because you don't know how to handle money. Like, come on, there's a difference." Like I'm so like she's. Oh, I am with you, recap. She's not for any of the shit. She's not for the shade. She's not for the lies. Like trying to demean her character. She's not for none of that. She's no. And I like also the fact that Martell has even. I mean, of course, he's always been in Mel's corner in some aspects, but when it comes to them personally, he always fucks up. But he's always spoken up about like her business acumen, how she is. So I really like the fact that he is still on her side and letting it be known, like, hey,
Hey,
respect her.
melanated.
Hey, melanated.
Now, for me in that scene, I don't know if you guys, but this part of the season, Marsau cannot even hide his misogyny because every single woman that he met this episode, he was very misogynistic to. So
100%.
first last episode, you reduced Nell to being Chris Fletcher's wife, reduced someone who introduced you to a show, gave you a house to stay, gave you a role on her show, is an executive producer, owns multiple streams of income, introduced you to property preservation, and all of a sudden, like amnesia, you forgot all those wonderful um jobs and things she does, and all of a sudden you reduced her to a t-shirt seller. It's crazy to me. It's almost like he purposely wants to reduce the woman, somewhat like to humble her. The same way Tisha was quiet throughout this entire episode, That's how he likes his women, quiet. That's why it was like, oh, it was trying to meet Mel energy for energy, because he's never used to anybody meeting him bumper to bumper. That's the vibe I got here. He's very misogynistic. He just covers the whole thing with the whole smile, laughter, jokes he tries to crack here or there, which are not funny, because you can't be mocking me, mocking my business acumen, and you expect me to take it that it's your opinion. Oh, it's your opinion, but as a businessman, you are 5 million into debts, fraud cases, theft cases, allegedly. Well, we all know that they're there. But all of a sudden, you are such a good businessman.
Are
Okay.
you the only one? Like, why isn't there all these lawsuits against Mel, for instance? If anything, you guys need to take a pen and paper, and whenever she speaks, you all need to write it down, because you need every idea, you need every advice that you could get from that woman. As someone who is not the one battling fraudulent lawsuits, allegedly. And melanated energy, I hope my mic is clear now. But yeah, like for me, I'm just like, I am here for it. Please continue to serve them. That is what I'm here for. This whole season, I
Yeah.
want to see Mel get on their asses.
Yeah, but you also have to think
uh,
too, like, really? Uh, they've been copying Mel. They've been taking down the stuff that she's been doing, but they're not taking down the right shit. That's their problem. And that was also Marsau's problem when it came to the Black Espo, as Tisha says. The Espo didn't go off like they
at this
wanted to
point, I
because
don't know if I
Mel,
can pronounce expo again. I keep saying expo.
I know, right? The Espo. So it's like you were mad because Mel was like, okay, like I'll talk about my t-shirts, but I'm not gonna give you free game that I charge people for. Like, what sense does that make? You got mad about that. So that's why you wanted to try to, you know, lower her as if she's just a t-shirt seller. When you know for a fact what Mel does. You've been known. Remember, she at the popcorn factory at the movie theater. Like, stop it. She was cleaning up bubblegum underneath the seats when she found you. So why are you acting like you
Say
don't
that
know who
again.
she is? You don't know her. Like, you don't know what she does. Like that. Uh-uh.
Takes a level of audacity that I'm baffled. It's mind-boggling to me. It's the same way he said he didn't really know what Mr. Fletcher does, considering he was trying to use Mr. Fletcher as his alibi just last season, wasn't it? But all of a sudden, you don't know what he and his wife do. Okay.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, you don't know what Mel does. The same Mel who gave you opportunities that you're benefiting from to this day. It's like,
Right.
what?
Because if it wasn't for the Holts, there would be no Scold.
Exactly. It's the audacity for me. And the thing is, I know, like, so I know people are giving Mattel like props for like speaking up for Mel, but I don't necessarily think it's speaking up for Mel in that sense. In the sense that he doesn't want he doesn't want the Scots or whatever their name is, the Scots, to minimize what he and Mel did for them. That is pretty much what it boils down to, because he knows by virtue of him being married to Mel, that's why those things happened. So like there's no way on earth like he should let them minimize all of the things that Melody and
Hi,
Mattel did.
Jacqueline. I also do agree, because it's like it's. I don't know if you watched Love Island the same way. Scott and Catherine, when he was defending like Catherine, and people were like, "Oh, he's trying to defend Catherine," and she was saying the only reason why he's defending our connection was because, at the virtue of extension, you're trying to come at him. So basically, he was actually defending himself and trying to make himself feel important. But yes, at that point, I would give him props for actually like standing up for him. He's trying to manipulate women like he does his wife. I mean, he doesn't even need to do much to manipulate Tisha. She's willing, she's a willing victim. I would even call her a victim. Yes, if Mel had no other businesses, why are you on a show she created? So this not stuff they could use. God sake. Yeah. I think Marcel says crazy stuff because he's a day drunk. No, I think he says crazy stuff because, people are actually putting this theory on Twitter saying that he says all these things to rile Mel up because he knows that Mel will obviously want to have like a meeting or of some sort with him. And he's always looking for a way to be in Mel's presence. So yeah, that may actually be one theory. Yeah, Tisha is a willing participant. I don't really see her as the victim at this point anymore. Now they go on to this their expo criticism meeting. I'm trying to understand, why did Kimmi do this? Because I can't have a product, I can't have an event, and then someone else is doing the meeting for the criticism of the event. It just shows that it shows that Tisha and Marsau never actually wanted any constructive criticism. Someone else that was not even involved, had to create the meeting. Meanwhile, the owners, the people who were the face of everything, just came and attended to hear what everybody had to say. That was already the negative sign that this was not going to go down well.
In some period, because anybody said anything about it, she was the said, "Oh, she doesn't need to hear nothing. She doesn't need any criticism. She doesn't care about it. Like nothing." But there was no care. Got the little bit of money that they wanted. They was able to get away with the scam. So nothing else really matters. We know this. Like we honestly know this. And in this meeting, like there was so much when it came to body language and just the stuff that was being said to let you know, like they really was not. They didn't do that expo for the community. It was really for them.
And we found out that they finally exposed them that they actually got people to give them money. Apart from the money that they
Listen,
collected.
if you go
They
back,
got
I told y'all that
sponsorship.
they got sponsorship. I told y'all, listen, everybody was like, no, they didn't get it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. We knew
Yeah.
they got sponsorship. As soon as Mel mentioned something about sponsorship, at first, when the meeting, they act like, oh, no, they wasn't going to do this and wasn't going to do that. But they turned around and was like, oh, we can get some money for this? Sure. And what happened right after? Right after all this happened, right after the expo and all that. Oh, you got these new cars and you just went and got it wrapped. Now you're downsizing your house and you're moving into this apartment. Like, come on.
Say it again. So
Like,
conveniently.
Louder for the people at the back.
right. So make it make sense. Like, come on.
Like, I want to play the beginning of this thing because I want to talk about some specific parts of this.
By the time you guys have everything ready for the next one, that is, more organized, very much more together, streamlined, all the good stuff, so I can, maybe participate.
Like, for real, she just woke up from nowhere. She was not saying anything. Tisha was basically pressing her phone while they were bashing Marcel, calling him a bitch, saying everything, every name on that book. But immediately Mel woke up and had one thing. Like, Mel said one thing. The business was disorganized. And funny enough, she was not the first person who has said the business was disorganized, which is
That's
very
the
crazy.
thing. They were all saying it. Even at the whole sit down they had the other time, they were all talking about it. It was clear it was disorganized. Even it's not even that deep, right? It's not like she said, "Oh, the expo was not a success." She didn't even say that. She just said, "Oh, hoping that next time the thing would be more streamlined, more organized." And I'm just like, I don't really understand why Tisha has a knickers and a twist. I will say though, it is clear that Tisha has a problem with Mel. She's always had an issue with Mel. She hates the fact that Marsau adores Mel, loves Mel. In my opinion, it's like he has a crush on Mel. I will say this.
Did
Okay,
you see
let's.
her face when he said, I met Mel?
I
That?
saw it.
Listen, that's what I was gonna say. You guys gotta understand Tisha has such a loathing for Mel and she envies her so much that anytime her name is mentioned, it makes her feel a certain way. And for Marsau to say that he met with her, y'all know how she feels about him meeting up with Melody without her either knowing or being there.
Yep.
because I feel like she really knows that Marsau has a thing and an attraction to Mel. That's why she tries to copy everything Mel does all the time. So as soon as Mel said something and it came out, see, first it was okay, but then when it came out that Marsau had met up with her, did you see how her eyes cut towards him? Like she
How
was,
dare you?
yeah,
She
exactly. She had her tongue out. She was just like you could see in her face. She was pissed. So
mhm.
that's what it is. She knows how Marsau feels about Mel, and for them to have what she would feel as a secret meeting or a meeting that where she was not aware, and oh, you apologize to her. Oh no, she. How many times have we seen Marsau apologize to Tisha?
Never.
Never.
Did you see
Exactly.
her face as she
See,
was?
you get my point.
Did you guys see her face the way she was looking at Mel the whole time? I was like, girl, you better get rid of this envy because it's not looking good for you. It really isn't. Like she
You
looked
should have all this smoke for your man.
for your man. He's the
Right.
Mel did not do anything to you.
Yeah, she absolutely wakes up from the dead anytime Melody is involved because it was too obvious.
Mm.
The previous episode, Stormi had every single name to call your man, every single name under the book, and you allowed it. She called your man a bitch. He said, "Oh, I accept." You were quiet. Imagine if it was Mel that called the Marsau a
The
bitch.
world would
Oh, that
end.
place would have.
Right. Like you said nothing. This woman sat right next to you and called your husband a bitch, not once, not twice, but several times. Said it even again at a meeting to him, to his face, around several other people, and you were quiet. You said nothing. But as soon
Mhm.
as Mel gives you some
Constructive.
respective feed, right, constructive criticism, some
Mhm.
respectful feedback, oh, you got pushback, you got words, you got, what I'm saying, you got your neck rolling, it's
Yeah, but
you
the
got strength
humble,
in
I
your
want
neck,
to beat
right,
somebody. Come on.
Mhm.
right, you
Listen
ready
and just like,
to
oh,
become Muhammad Ali and stuff,
listen.
like, come on,
Mhm.
girl, like what is really the problem? And then
She
y'all
was
act like, oh
even
no,
so
we don't hate
dumb.
Mel. Yes you do, y'all do hate Mel.
Like, how would you say the behind the scenes things do not matter? It's because you guys never planned anything well. That's why they had this situation. So why are you acting like the behind the scenes is not even more important than the day? Because I understand that on the D-Day, things can actually go wrong. So it's
Mhm.
understandable. But for you to not even be prepared prior to that day, come on, it already shows that you guys just wanted money. Yeah, Tisha is not
100%. That's
tough. She doesn't even know what's happening in the business that she owns 85% of.
85% of,
Very.
like, how are you going, wait, you're being sued, you're telling me you didn't even go to court to
Mhm.
find out? And this is my question also. If you own 85%, that means your name is on the deposition and you would have to be summoned to court because you're basically more of an owner than the person that's going. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's how the court system in business works. If the company is being sued, they're going after the owner. You are the owner, Tisha, so why wasn't you there? What do you really own? Like, what are you a part of? What is it?
In name only. That's what I would say.
Right.
In name
Like
only.
honestly, and I'm gonna tell you, I mean, yeah, I understand that they've been married, and sometimes people get married just to say they're married, and they stay married just to stay, because it's just like, girl, what kind of marriage do y'all have? Like,
Yep.
One that only serves Marsau. Because it ain't serving Tisha, is it?
mm,
I would like to see what she is getting out of it. All you get is
right,
disrespect. All you get is a man that treats you like crap. A man that can normally when he's with Tisha and they're having a dialogue, he's always gaslighting her. He tried that with Mel.
yeah,
See how the respect came in straight away. And I'm just like, Tisha is a willing participant, but she also enables Marsau to continuously do these things to her, to continuously speak to her like that. I feel like Marsau knows that Tisha is jealous and envious of Mel, and he plays on that a whole lot.
He definitely does.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Definitely. Like it's so crazy. Now let's move on to our favorite couple.
You know what?
Okay.
That's why I call
Yeah,
them
I'm
our
gonna let
favorite
Taco Night
couple.
go first because I feel like y'all are gonna be way nicer than I am. So
Okay. I
Oh
will
my
say
god.
it felt like Tiffany was taking a lot of jabs to begin with. It was like Lou couldn't even sit down. She was like, pow. Like she was just coming for Lou straight up, right? And I also noticed Lou seems checked out. I personally think Lou did not really want that baby. This is all in my opinion. He did
He
not
did not
really
want
want
it.
that baby, right?
no, not at all.
Their life was going to change. Everything was going to change. He wasn't, they didn't even have enough time.
Okay.
According to
Good.
them, they're talking about, oh, not even getting enough sex, right? Oh, can I say that on here? I think so.
You
right,
can. I think you can
right.
talk about sex.
Right, okay. We're talking about like not even getting enough sex, but all of a sudden, oh, now we have a baby and we're going to suddenly find time for this kid. It doesn't make any sense. You all can't even find enough time to have sex. So there is definitely a problem. And so it's like, okay, I feel bad for Tiffany because I can only imagine how it means to have a kid and feel like you're alone. But at the same time, sis, you brought it on yourself. You did. Because this man told you in no uncertain terms, we don't have the time. But instead,
I
you're like,
don't
oh, let's do
know.
it. I think she
I
was
feel
counting
I
on being the
feel the
one that would be busy.
opposite.
I think she's
You know,
counting on being the one that would be
I'll
busy.
play the video. Let me play
Mm,
the video and I'll give my opinion because my opinion is quite different.
okay.
When are we gonna have more time like this?
Um, I think this is a good start. I think we'll take each day as it comes. I mean, we both are pretty busy.
Well, a lot
Mhm.
has happened while you've been gone. I mean, David is about to start driver's ed, and it's almost time to buy another car.
I mean, I knew it
Lemaire's
was
ready
coming.
for him to get his license, so Lemire can stop being his chauffeur.
I definitely knew that time was coming for sure. There's no question about it. That's why we've been putting in a lot of work to get prepared for it. I mean, for sure, the season is over. It's gonna get we got travel season, but it's lighter. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to be home. It was a little tough being being away from the family, especially when Ace was first born.
You was away from the
I
family,
always
sorry, I just had
definitely
to say.
wanted to be there, but I know that was a little tough for you as well too.
I'm actually really surprised. I mean, both of the boys have stepped up and know how to change diapers, and it's almost like a competition on who can calm Ace down the fastest. And so, I mean, it's really refreshing just to be at home and be able to like take a breath, just pause for a second, and enjoy quality time like while he's so young. I don't remember being able to do
Just
that
say
with
it
David. I
straight
needed to go
up.
right
I
back
want
to
you to be
work, and I didn't,
home.
take advantage of the whole 6 weeks.
Like she's just
And
beating
hold on,
around
this
the
is
So,
bush.
and then of course, I feel super grateful that my grandparents are around the corner. So he gets to be around his great grandparents, and your mom has spent tons of time with him, and I feel like she's, filling in for you.
Yeah, she definitely was helping fill the gap for that period of time while I was away.
Now let me give you my
I
own
was gonna say this
opposite
does have to be a digital
opinion.
exclusive because that's not what we saw. And even so, like, stop
I
beating around
watched
the
that
bush. Okay,
Insta
just say
exclusive.
exactly what you
That was
mean.
where I changed my opinion. Because when I watched the episode, I was like, But when I watched this part, I was like, I definitely did not see this in the episode. Now
Mm.
it just changed my entire. Oh, why am I listening to a song? Sorry, like
I'm
am I
sorry,
the only
don't
one
change my
hearing it?
opinion because Tiffany is still Tiffany, and
Yeah.
mm-mm.
So I don't know why I can hear music somewhere, but I'm
Oh,
going
is it?
to.
I can't
Oh,
hear it.
sorry, something was playing in the background. I was really confused why I was hearing Chloe Bailey sing.
Oh.
So I was very confused. So my opinion totally changed. As much as you did not want to have a child, if you really wanted to frustrate Tiffany, you guys would have had that child. There are
Mm.
various ways for a man to prevent pregnancy. Let's stop acting like we do not know that. And the fact that, okay, this child has been born, I understand that you're a baseball coach, obviously, you travel here and there. But now you come back, you're detached, you're not really like bubbly towards the child, almost like you're irritated. You're not spending time, you're not taking care
You're
of
not
the
bonding
child.
with the kid.
Those are actually like very dangerous, big danger signs. Because I've known people that had children, like the woman wanted the child, but the man did not want the child. Eventually, you will step up because this is your blood, this is your child, this is what you will eventually learn to like this child. But this child has been born how many months now? And you are still like, oh, I find time, I did this, almost like you don't care.
Yep.
And some
Okay,
people keep
see, hold
saying
on.
that,
See, that's why I said
oh,
I'm gonna let y'all. See, I don't agree with that. See, this is why.
okay,
Okay, because if you remember, no, listen. One, he did say he did not want a baby. We know this, that he did not want a child. But when he came around to the idea and the fact of them having a baby and said yes, he was full on there. He was telling her, hey, you need to slow down. You need to stop working. I can do this to do that. She didn't want
so
to slow
what
down. She
happened to
didn't want
their
to stop.
sex
She
life?
remember she kept saying nothing's going to change. She's still going to do this. She was not listening, did not want to follow any doctor's rules. Nothing. She wanted to do what she was
But
going
they
to
are not even
do.
having
Lou,
sex
but also the
currently.
thing is, Lou stayed away. Lou stayed there while the baby was first born. Like he said, when the baby was first born, he was there. He made sure that everything was good. But they have to have money. They have to do things, and she's not able to work like she wants to because she has the baby. So Lou has to get back to work, and this is something that they had discussed. It would be different if it just came out of the blue. There was no knowledge of it. There was no nothing. This is something that was discussed, so she knew that this was going to be a part of it. So I feel like she's just kind of like wanting things her way because she feels like it's she's not getting what she wants. It's not looking how she thought it was going to look because in her mind, the world runs around her. So
But no,
I
like,
don't
okay,
really,
let's
I
say
really can't
the child
say
that
that
died, why is it not at least intimate with her? Let's
he's
say,
there
okay, you
though.
do
That's
not
what I'm
want the
saying. He
child.
was there when the
Why
baby
are
was
you
first
not
born, but like you
intimate?
said, when the baby got old enough and
Intimacy.
he knew that everything was okay, he had to get back to work.
But he's back now.
What is he
He
gonna
said
do?
the
That he
season
has to get back to work.
is over.
But my
He said the
question,
season is over and they are not having any intimacy
Okay, so then that means,
whatsoever.
and
And
he
she's
also said
slipping
that it's a
into
good start.
depression and he's not doing anything about it. He's
Yeah,
obviously
yes,
telling
and
everybody that
that's
she's
something
slipping
that they
into
needed to
depression
talk about.
and he's like, oh, I need to work. No, dude, you are not. She's being depressed because she is lacking intimacy from you. She doesn't even bother about you taking care of this child. Because listening to what she's saying, she lacks intimacy, little bit of touches here and there. He's not giving her anything.
is
And
not,
I can
is not.
remember in the episode, she
Right.
mentioned that, oh, I've gotten fat, I've gotten this. Still, those are the signs.
Yeah.
And he's also let her know that she's still beautiful and he loves her. And look, it's
Bro, you are
okay.
not
He's still trying
showing
to
me. You
reassure
are
her.
telling me
And also
something
now
and
that
you're
the
not
season
showing
is
me
over, I feel
anything.
like there is time for more of that. Now, if with the season being over, if they're still going through those same issues where they're feeling apart, he's not touching and talking to her or something like that, then I will say, okay, now wait a second, what's going on? But just like he said,
But
hey,
the
this
season
is a
is
good
over.
start. Us doing this picnic, us having this picnic and having this conversation, it's a good start for us to move on and, get things together. So it's like right now, you got to start from somewhere. She's expressing how she feels. He's receiving it. Now we need to see, is he truly receiving it and understanding it? And is he going to make the moves to make it better? Because your wife is telling you that she's depressed. She's telling you she needs intimacy. What are you going to do about it at this point?
I think what concerns me is that multiple things, but one thing that concerns me is his body language towards her. So even though he was saying what he was saying and he was saying the right things, his body language seemed like he had checked out. And there is clearly a disconnect between them. So that's more what I'm concerned about is like, oh yeah, I'm here now and stuff. But if my wife is saying, well, not that I have a wife, but you get the example. If my wife is saying, oh, I'm not getting attention, you will move closer to her. Baby, you're beautiful. Touch her. Look into her eyes. Do all these things. Like, girl, I got you. I think you're still as nice as I thought the first day I met you. Right? Like, you say all these things, you make her feel that reassurance. I wasn't reassured, and I'm not his wife. So like I'm
Thank
also
you.
imagine how
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now that she said these things, let's figure it out. But then, you know what? I think about this. Let's think. How's Lou really, really been in the relationship the entire time? Because if you really look at their whole timeline,
2 seasons back,
Tiffany's been the
he was
one who
begging
has
for
been
sex.
pushing everything. She pushed the engagement, she pushed the wedding, she's pushed having a baby. Like what is has he really
Regardless,
been all in the relationship, or like what?
two
yeah.
I don't
seasons
know.
back, he was begging Tiffany for sex. He was sexually frustrated. 2 seasons forward, he's now repulsed. Amazing.
Mm. Do you know what I think? I think there's a level of resentment in the sense that I feel like there's a resentment because he did not initially want this kid. Now they have a kid, life has to change. He feels like things are going well for him in his coaching, but now he has to still, of course, he can't be seen to be the man that, does not come home at all. He has to still make certain adjustments, and he doesn't want to have to. I feel like, because it doesn't explain how if a season ago or 2 seasons ago you were talking about you wanted more sex and you're frustrated. Now all of a sudden the sex is here, or the opportunity for the sex is here, and you seem detached. So and the way his body language towards her just gave me the impression he's checked out. So I do hope they get it together, because if they don't get it together, there'll be an issue. The
All the
other
way
thing
to
that I
court.
wanted to say was, he said when he felt that things were good, he left. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because if she is already showing signs of being depressed, which we've seen, and even when she was talking to Stormi, she was talking about how she cries a lot and all of this, I honestly don't believe that she was not exhibiting some of those signs before he left. I'll be completely honest. So that I just think
You
he
should
didn't
take
give
her
her.
to the
I did.
psychiatrist.
I think he just didn't give a two toss and just thought, I am going to pursue this thing because I know if Tiffany got an opportunity, she will go and get it.
Because
Just
that's
Look,
been
I'll
his
say this.
mindset. He has
When it
always
comes to
said go
Tiffany,
for what
honestly,
you
I don't put
want.
anything past her, especially how she did Kiki. Like, honestly, I don't trust shit about her. Honestly, I feel like it's possible that she could lie about being, that way just to get sympathy. Like, I'm not saying she is. Don't listen,
Gigi, you do not care
don't
about
nobody
this
try to
girl.
comfort me. I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying that, like, I don't really put shit past Tiffany. I'm telling y'all. Come on now. Did y'all see how good she played that? How she act like she didn't know what was going on with Kiki, and how anything found out when it was really her. Come on now. You cannot tell me she is not an Academy Award winner. Like, no. Okay, so, but I'm saying, but I will say this, postpartum depression is real. And if there are
yeah.
signs there, he definitely won. I feel like if she has to wait 8 weeks, he should have waited at least 8 weeks too. Like, you guys both go through this process together. At least make sure that both of each other's mental stability is good before either one of you, leaves. Like, if she can go back to work and she's fine, then that's your time. Like, I do feel that should have happened. At least give it the 8 weeks. So,
Yeah,
like,
because
I mean,
as
there's a
much
lot that
as
needs
I
to be
really
done
did
in
not
that
like,
relationship.
as much as I did not like Tiffany, I really cringed so bad when that thing came on. Like, I was feeling secondhand embarrassment. Like,
Mhm.
this is someone, a walking diagnosis, and everybody's just watching her for TB. It's
Unravel,
crazy.
basically.
She may
Mhm.
never become clinically like depressed, but do not take that minute depression as anything, because we do not know it can come back again. I feel like people just really take,
Well,
especially the Black community, we really take our health for like granted, and it's just
oh,
crazy.
Dr. Francis, do you make house calls?
You just reminded me of the comments. I was like, where is Dr. Francis where you need him?
I know they better bring him
Geneva
on.
said Tiffany wants to have her. Tiffany wants to get her way. She's controlling and is not going to let her control him. I think yes, she's controlling, but in this situation, she's actually exhibiting signs that she may be depressed, not clinically yet, but she is. Now
Mm-hmm.
we move on to the tigress and Kimmi's conversation. I call Nell tigress because
Not
she
the
always looks like
But
tigress.
I was like, the
she looks
tigress. Oh my.
like a tiger.
Okay.
You know what?
Especially with this hair. Come on. Am I
Oh,
lying? Look at
that
come.
hair looks like a mop. I'm sorry. It looks like a
Well,
mop.
I just can't wait to be king. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, we are not saying she looks like Mufasa's sister,
I like Miss now, but that wig gotta go.
or
I
at least,
feel
well,
like
don't make
in
it
this
so dry.
conversation,
Like,
the hair was dry. You could let it see a wig with all those like the down already
Also, I wanted to
splitting.
shift it. I wanted to pluck the wig. Like, I wanted to do so many things to that
The front was not peaked. It looked like a mountain. It was just like, come on, it
hair.
was terrible. So now she comes and meets. Why do I keep calling Kimmy Kiki? Meets Kimmy. No, Kimmy invites her obviously to tell her that even though she invited her for the expo criticism meeting, she decided to cut her off because she was not there. And then she felt offended that she wouldn't have actually like been mad about the whole Marsau and Tisha thing because they've already like spoken about it prior. And then if she comes to that, probably giving them an idea of how to like maybe run the event the next time. Now, as much as I feel like Nell is unnecessarily dragging this whole invite to the expo thing, I think she made a point because every single time you invite them for something and then you uninvite them.
It doesn't make
Come on,
sense.
if you invite me the next time, I'm never going to even listen to you because that's just it's almost like you don't see my words because you're telling me, oh, then I would like to invite you to the next businesses, next events, blah blah blah. So in my mind, I'll be thinking, oh, so when you invite me the next time, are you going to uninvite me? Because this is like the second time they've uninvited them. It's crazy.
Honestly, I don't like unstable people. Do you want me there or do you not want me there? Can't invite me
oh, I'm
today and
sorry.
this morning I find out the event has happened. And I can't. One thing about Kimmy is good at playing in people's faces because you invited her to tell her that, oh, we had the event. That's mad. Like, I know
Right, disrespectful.
people might not like Neil, but seriously, that is mad. How do you invite someone somewhere only to then sit in front of them to say, I know I invited you to this thing, but it happened yesterday. And I just wanted to let you know why I didn't invite you. You should have called her before and said, I know
I
I
would throw
invited you to this.
hands.
However, we wanted this. Do you mind? That is how you do it. Not have a conversation with her now. And my thing is, the only reason why you did it personally is because you don't want Nell to read you for filth in front of the other girls. So you want to have a sidebar conversation with her so that you guys could be good, so that in the group setting, it ain't gonna come up and she won't read you publicly.
She saw
That's
how they dragged Tisha to field, and she's like, "Oh,
mm-hmm.
I don't
She's
want
like, I don't want
I
that.
don't
Let
want to
me clear
subscribe
it
to
up.
that."
Yep. She's like, let
But
me.
the thing is it's like, but you're still steady allowing Tisha to do the dumb shit that's causing her to get dragged, and you are now participating in it because you did the exact same thing. How in the hell do you invite somebody to something, then have the event and not tell them, but then you call them up and let them know, well, hell, we had the event that I said you was invited to, but now I didn't tell you because I wanted to tell you now that you wasn't invited after the fact, girl.
Audacity.
But you don't expect for me to feel some type of way. You don't want me to look at y'all, some type of way. And then you wonder why, honestly, maybe the Fletchers only deal with, honestly, Melody, or even the Holts like that, because maybe they have a certain quality to them when it comes to business or even friendship. Now, we know Martell's not friends with anyone, but honestly, we see why you guys have such a hatred and so much disdain for them being around Mel. But like, how could you sit there and do the exact same thing? It would be different if you did not know, Kimmi, what Tisha did, how Tisha invited them to the Black Expo, but then, you know, didn't give them an actual invite when it happened, or even ask them to speak. Because hell, it didn't seem like anybody y'all had to speak was worthy of speaking. So y'all had really no business people there. You didn't invite them, and Kimmi, you was there when it came out, so you knew, and you invited her to the meeting for criticism. Now,
It's just
like
crazy.
you were like, honestly, Kimmi is becoming more and more like Tisha in a way, and I used to rock with Kimmi, but y'all know I don't trust
Ever
Kimmy's
since they
ass
revealed
either.
that sexual issues, I'm sorry, I just like, oh,
I guess I never liked
yeah.
her from day one. I'll be honest. From day one, I was
Kimmi
like,
has been
"You are
messy.
sneaky.
I like because
You
you
sneaky."
obviously need a messy person in the show.
Mhm.
Like Nell has taken the baton of being messy because Nell and Chris are actually like messy.
Mhm.
But if you start moving funny, I was outside eyeing you too.
To me, Kimmy
Once
has
you
always
started
been a
talking
snake.
about the whole sexual, oh, I want to have sex, like a, mm, 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 mm.
Mm-mm.
Let's not do that today, please.
She's always been giving me snake vibes. Honestly, snake vibes from day one. Don't trust nothing that comes out of her mouth.
Hi, Tisha.
Hi, Tisha. But yeah,
Huh,
it's
Tisha?
not here for it at all.
No, it's honestly, it's the fakery for me. And like you said, Kimmy steady playing in our faces, thinking that somebody is really believing this shit. No, and the shit like Marsau and Maurice are one and the same, and it's so crazy to see how
Maurice is
Marshall
what?
is, and to know that honestly Maurice is the older brother, and Marshall gets all this shit from Maurice, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
Marsau
like
is ugly. It's
Kimmy,
very obvious that
Kimmy
Maurice
is,
is
Sorry, you said it's very
but
obvious that.
Kimmy is rather.
oh, I think our mic is going in and out.
Yeah. I think you said something about it was very, very obvious or something like that. I missed that.
No, I said Marsau is ugly. So obviously Maurice is the older one. The older and the always finer. So
Yeah, well, they both look the same to me. Like, I really
no,
can't.
no, I'm sorry. Please, 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 let's not do that. Let's not do
Legs
that.
from Blum and whatever his name is. Plus, I think to be fair, the fact that Marsau's behavior makes him even look worse. And okay,
Maurice,
we're not there yet.
Marsau is ugly.
But did you pick up? We're not there yet. I guess the bit where Mel actually calls out that calls what's it called, Marsau out at the expo conversation thing a little bit. I don't know if you guys also watched the digital exclusive clip as well.
There is. Oh, let me go back to it because
There
I'm
is
on their
one.
YouTube.
It's good. It's good.
Oh,
Why don't they
they're
add all
dropping these
these
digital
spicy
exclusives,
things?
like right.
And I just kept thinking, why have a digital exclusive like this and keep it far away
It's the
from the
same
show?
shit they do for Ready to Love. Like they put all the
I don't
interesting
get it.
things in
I
there.
know.
Hey,
So
melanated.
crazy. Oh, Melanated, welcome back.
On respecting and understanding each other's business endeavors.
What did you?
I had to remind him because he was hell bent on, I have a platform, so businesses that I'm creating or doing after this platform, he doesn't value that because I have a platform. So I had to remind him that whenever I met them in 2014, did you see how I lived? Did you see how I traveled when I wanted to, how I want to, and how I moved in life? You knew that we were sole entrepreneurs and we just worked for ourselves and had been 5 years prior to ever meeting you, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, yeah, that's because of business acumen and business intelligence. And so once that happened, then it was
He had to acknowledge that.
yeah, and he did. So we're good.
Oh, he kept quiet.
Look
So
at Tisha's
quickly.
face. Ooh, Tisha can't stand
He
it.
kept
Ooh, she
quiet
can't stand
so
it.
quickly.
Look at
He
Tisha's
is
face.
quiet when it comes to listen. When it comes to hey, pretty brown eyes.
Hello.
He is
Hey.
definitely mute when it comes to when Mel says something. Just like whenever Mel said, "Ain't that right?" and he said, "Uh-huh." Let Tisha ask him something. He does not know. He will plead the fifth about the simplest shit if Tisha asks. And that's why I asked y'all, how many times have you heard Marsau apologize to Tisha? None. But
Never.
he apologizes to Mel. And he comes correct whenever she like Mel will check his ass and he straightens up and starts to act like he has some type of act right when it comes to her. But did y'all see Tisha's face? Oh, the disgust,
She
oh,
was
the envy, the jealousy. It was there.
pressed.
Oh, that was a how dare you face.
Yep. She was not
How
feeling it.
dare
And
you
then
say
she
that we
looked
came from the
at her,
dumpster?
and then
Because
she looked
people
at
really want to go to their
her.
history. There were nothing
Yes. Yep.
about how many years back. They should. I'm
Right,
happy
that's why I
that Mel
said you
also
were
made a
scraping
comment
bubble gum
saying that
underneath the theater
without,
seats.
yeah,
But the thing is,
without
if
this
no one's going
show,
to remind
all
you,
their businesses will be nowhere. Black became
exactly.
something because of the show. Mila and Marcy hair care became something because they met Stormi on the show. Every single thing or every single business that Marsau and Tisha have participated in, it's because the show gave them credibility. And because the show has continuously given them credibility, that's why they have the guts to scam people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right, and that's why they try to come for them and act as though the Holtz didn't do anything. But listen, just like she said, prior to meeting y'all, I was already taking trips, had money, was doing my own thing. So come on, Marsau. Like I said, you was found in the movie theater scraping bubble gum, serving popcorn. Like, you know that y'all had nothing. The Holtz gave y'all a place to stay, a car to drive, gave y'all the recipe and the blueprint for property preservation, and gave y'all even the start for your business, Scolt, because without Holt, there's no Scolt. Like,
This comment.
but then you try to play as though it's y'all and you don't know what Mel does. Come on.
I know.
She got him right though.
If you don't want to be reminded of where you're coming from, then don't play with people. If you did not play with her, she wouldn't have reminded you that I've been doing this since you were in diapers, basically, at this point. Like, I love how she came for him. And I'm just like, please.
First off, Tisha was mad because they met, but then for her to sit there and see how Mel has him in check, oh, poor Tisha.
She's
And
like,
she
wow,
looks
maybe I
over
can
at
learn
Marsau.
something.
And she looks over at Marsau like he was going to say something, and he didn't. That was when she really was pressed. My goodness.
She was tight.
Yep. She sure was. She sure was.
Marsau just likes to put on for the camera. He doesn't mean half the stuff he says. You know, this is what I said. He's trying so hard to make he and Tisha the center. But one thing they don't understand that even if you are the center topic, you will still relate back to Melody.
Yep. Because you guys are not being truthful about your storyline. So what else are you gonna do?
Telling you. Nothing.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about another bomb.
Wow. So how long you gonna be out? About a week and a half. No.
You've been there for how many months? Come on.
Oh my
I hate
God.
friends like this. They make you lose hope in friendships.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm never, if Martell was my friend, never helping him out, ever. Because those are the kind of people that you do a favor for and then you lose that opportunity. Because
he is the type of person that you will lose business over.
Exactly. It doesn't reflect well on Chris at all that he hasn't left. And the fact that you can do that to your friend's source of income as someone who in quotation marks, let's just say, has been part of a successful business. You should know better, sir.
And you know what's crazy to me? If I look at Chris and then I look at Martell, so I'm like, oh, so what if he's squatting another of your buildings and I want to buy it? So then I have to wait till it's comfortable enough to move. It doesn't do well. That means other people will be like, say, friends above your business. I don't know. I don't know how people react, but if I'm to watch and I want to look at someone, from what I heard, Chris and Nell, they run one of the biggest like real estate booking stuff. So I'm like, are you going to really ruin your business just because of friendships? Dude, I would have actually sent you away, because for the fact that you've had a buyer for weeks and you left your friend to keep squatting there for weeks, come on, you're not serious.
I would have
No, that's definitely no. You're not about to make me lose business just because you expect me to bend over backwards for you because you are my friend. And then the way the guy who was there, the other dude, and his name Chris, I think, the other one that's there was like, "Oh man, Fletcher, you ain't gonna do him like that. First off, sir, you don't know what's going on. This man has been squatting in this house for months. He had a time limit to be out. When Fletcher pulled up on him, like he said, that time limit was coming up the very next day. And you're still trying to get another week and a half. And it's the same thing that you said when he gave you 2 weeks. Oh, well, I found a place.
Oh,
okay, well, can you get in there? No. Oh, Fred. Okay, so can you get in there? No. But you found a place. Yes. No, you didn't. And the fact that he was trying to make it though, and try to gaslight, Fletcher is saying, "Oh, you're expecting me to find a place? What do you want? Me and my kids to go to a hotel?" Sir, your kids are good. They have a mother that takes very, very great care of them. Like, they have a home. It's you're the one who doesn't. So you need to work on making sure that you have a place. But you're not trying, and you're expecting Chris to do it all, and then to say that, "Oh, I'm your client too." No, you're his friend. If you're not paying client fees, you're not a client.
Yep.
Fletcher's doing this out of the nature, out of being a good friend. But no, you're taking advantage of him, and I'm pretty sure he's getting fed up with that shit. Especially after giving them that subpoena to court too, without them knowing. Oh, come on.
I would have organized people to pack his things out of that house. I'm sorry. I don't play with my business. If you're a friend and you're playing with my business opportunity, I will get someone to get you out of that place. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
I actually agree with the comments, because he was showing up in Timberlands, white t-shirt, tight jeans to work, and he just held like a shovel. I remember when this picture came out, I actually did I talked about it in one life. I was like, how will you show up to a construction site with a white t-shirt? You are not serious.
We're not doing anything. You have no plans to work. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he has not packed $1. Because someone who has packed, then you still want him to, oh, come on, to bring a package.
He's feeling like he can stay there for some reason. Like,
and
I bet you he hasn't paid no rent either. I bet you he's still staying there and hasn't paid, because they're like, "Oh, well, they want me to get out, so I'm not gonna pay." No, if you're still there, you still need to pay, sir. Like, something. If not, listen here, sheriff will be knocking on your door. They will be there, okay? And your ass will be getting out, and everything that you have in there will be there.
Where's your dignity, Martell? We might as well ask him this question, because it seems very lost. Yes, Fred was really talking very ignorant. I wonder what Martell has been telling him.
Of course. Martell would have said, "Oh, Chris has been unreasonable. You know how he gets."
And you realize that he hired someone with a builder's license instead of getting.
Of course, because he knows that he can't pass the test.
Exactly. At least he has good strategy on that one. I will say that. If you're not able to pass the test, you might as well get someone who is willing to team up with you.
You've been reading for the test for how many years? Come on, by now you should know what the next chapter should say without.
He has been reading Dr. Seuss with Floyd Mayweather. Okay, listen, they're both You know what? Never mind.
You know what? I just think he's lazy. I honestly just think he's lazy. I think he's used to Melody doing everything and he's never really had to pull his weight. And now that she's gone, he just does not have it in him. And that's okay, right? If you don't have it in you, then do something else. Like, I don't know, collaborate. I don't know, do something. But this ain't working out for you, bro. It's not.
At all.
Mm-mm.
Like, what are
Because
you
it's just
showing
so
your kids?
crazy.
Like, you want to act like you are such this great father. What are you showing them by squatting? By showing
That you
them
don't
that
need
you
to do
really,
anything. You can
yeah,
have people do it.
You can't pass the
right.
test? Mm,
Have people
If you
do
can't pass the test, cheat. Like,
mm.
it.
that's basically what it is.
They should know
Melanie
the book
Mason is
by
making me
heart.
laugh. I'm sorry.
Martell is illiterate. I mean, at this point, we need to ask because
Do
it's
you know what? Maybe
definitely
he
not
needs to
having.
apply. Maybe he needs to apply for an adjustment. I'm actually not even being funny right now. Maybe he needs to apply for an adjustment of some sort because isn't it an open book test? Like, does he have some learning difficulties that we're not aware of, or he's not aware of?
Probably.
He needs to get diagnosed, in my opinion, and potentially maybe get some sort of exemption based on experience in the field. I don't know. Do something.
Do you think they will allow that?
And
Someone who has written the test multiple times?
The thing is, if he
But now you
actually
should know
has
everything.
yeah, but if he actually has a learning difficulty that affects him being able to pass it, I don't know what because I know sometimes there's like adjustments for different things, and if you can prove whatever it is, then I don't know, but it's probably a stretch. Even with that, he's probably not going
Yeah.
to do the work it would take anyway. So, mm-mm.
Okay, the kids read to Martell. Yes, because I've seen that actually. This is who we call users. Oh, thank you. It's already growing back. I'm no longer bored. You can see the
Yeah,
hair.
your
I'm
hair
no
grows
longer
back
bored
quickly.
anymore.
yeah, it's come back really fast.
Yeah.
It's illiterate, maybe.
Yeah.
And did you see where Chris was very messy when he talked about the Scott and Scott? For the first time, I'm finding out that the business was that they were going to start with the Holts and then the Scots were going to buy them off. I did not have this information prior to today. Why did they not make it seem like they got the company if they actually were going to sell it to them eventually?
Sorry, say that again. I think I kind of from my side I couldn't hear you. I just heard the tail end of it.
So Martell claimed when Chris told him that Marsau said they are nothing, blah blah blah, that they did not help them, that
Mm.
they can imagine what happened to Scott. Now who owns it? So Martell revealed one big secret that the plan was that the Holt and Scott were going to have Scott, and then the Scots were going to buy them.
Out
I
of
did
it.
not know this. I
Mm.
was very shocked when he said that. I was like, oh,
I think he mentioned it on one reunion. I feel like I remember
I
that.
think there was talks about it before, even in previous episodes, because I know Mel has actually mentioned the fact of them having the business together and basically the Scots taking over it. Because Mel was the first one, I believe, to actually like kind of cut herself off of the business part of when it came to Skull, and she stuck with Holt and Holt. Martell was the last one in. And then I guess when he sold off, that's when Tisha was supposedly got more of the share in the company because she bought Martell's part.
Martell,
Mm.
yeah.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
way they always make it
So
seem
I
like they
believe
did
that, but we
it.
know the Scots would never admit to something like that.
Because it doesn't suit the narrative.
Of course, of course. It's the
They
same way
want
we
to make it
wouldn't have
seem like
known that
otherwise.
Mattel and Melody did anything for them. Let's be honest, if we left it up to them, we'd never have known that.
If we left it up to them, they would. Well, no, actually, If Mel and Martell had left them where they were, there would be nobody, and probably would not have Wanda being a nuisance on YouTube streets. It's a lose-lose.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah, agree. Well, we know that without, and we gonna say Martell included, without Melody, there really wouldn't have been a Holt and Holt or Scott. So Mel's making dreams come true. Might need to start calling her Walt Disney. Like, seriously, because listen, she's doing some things.
She's doing something. Maybe that's why Marsau can't stop making her angry, because he just loves seeing her.
He does. Any
He may
opportunity
have
to
some
see
sort
her.
of kink. We may never know.
He does, in my opinion. Honestly, I could almost swear by it. I really feel like he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
He always looks so happy to be in her presence. The great Mel. I get the opportunity to just look at her face. Mm-mm.
Thank you, Tisha. So I think we've covered the entire episode. This was a great
Yep.
episode, to be honest. And I'm liking the fact that we're not having too many scenes. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is what many shows should do. Just have like 4 major scenes, and it should go across like the 45 minutes. Because sometimes when you have like too many scenes, I just like get lost
Alone
in what's
jumping.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
100%. And melanated energy. I heard. Mm-mm. There's a lot there, but yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, I heard that too. There's a lot that, have come out about Walt Disney through the years, but what we saying, that was supposed to be the place where dreams come true.
But now dreams are
So,
dying
but
there.
still, we know that Mel is doing her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Finally, we had one successful live.
Yeah, so
In-
sorry again.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, it's
So see
okay.
you guys
Lots
next
happened.
time.
So,
Yeah. Thank you to the commenters. Thank you to the viewers. And see you guys next time.
Thank
Bye.
you all. Bye.
bye.